My name is Brian Gainey. I'm 39 years old and I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I had a great childhood, but I love to eat. And as I got older, I ate more and more. By the time I graduated high school, I was over 300 pounds. In my 20s, I was up to almost 450 pounds, and I actually lost all the weight once, but I couldn't keep it off. After working so hard, I gained all of it back in half the time it took me to lose it. It was humiliating and depressing. So I gave up. I just decided that I would be overweight the rest of my life and there was nothing I could do about it. This is from a video taken from a public speaking training class I was in a few years ago. Remember those pants, they're going to come up again later. I was bigger than I had ever been, but I felt helpless to do anything about it. I started gaining even more weight, and on June the 20th, 2010, a few weeks after this picture was taken, disaster struck. All of a sudden, I couldn't breathe. I collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. After hours and hours of tests in the emergency room, the doctors diagnosed me with a pulmonary embolism, or blood clots in my lungs that were cutting off my oxygen. The treatment was long and painful. I was on oxygen 24 hours a day and was on a constant IV pump of blood thinners. For 6 long days, I laid in that hospital bed. The low point came when I needed help going to the bathroom. I have never been more miserable in my entire life. While I was in the hospital, I had plenty of time to think. At first, I felt like a victim, like somebody or something had done this to me. But then reality set in and the pain turned to anger. My condition was unacceptable and I intended to do something about it. The doctors all suggested weight loss surgery, but that would have meant I'd have to come back to the hospital. No thanks, I told them, because when I walk out of here, I'm not coming back. When I finally got home, I still had problems breathing and couldn't walk on my own, but I knew I had to get moving. I discovered I could push a grocery cart around the store because it gave me something to lean on. After a few weeks of doing that, I graduated to walking to the mailbox at the end of my driveway over and over. From there, I took off like a rocket. I began walking mile after mile, seeking out every local walking trail I could find. I even took my brother along once just to be sure I would make it back. I modeled my eating plan after what I had learned in the hospital. I ate 5 and 6 times a day, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, low-fat dairy, and lots of oatmeal. I drank water by the gallon. Then I decided to join the gym at my work. That's when I met Coach Martha. She taught me how to exercise correctly, and the first exercises were very basic. Sitting down and standing up, over and over again. That's about all I could do. But the weight melted away, over 100 pounds in the first 6 months. There's those pants again. Then, still weighing more than 400 pounds, I entered a 10K race and limped across the finish line. Then I entered American Heart Association's Heart Walk, where I won a Lifestyle Change Award. Then came the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. All along the way, Martha kept intensifying my workouts. 3 times a week, she would have me go up and down the stairs carrying a 45-pound weight, as well as do other things that once seemed impossible. Finally, I had lost enough weight and was able to run, so I entered a Thanksgiving Day 5K and jogged across the finish line. In just the last year, I've been able to do things most people take for granted. I've been able to fly in an airplane, I've been able to fit in and drive a normal car, and I can even buy clothes at the regular store just like everybody else. But I'm not cured. It wasn't always easy. In fact, it never was. It is hard work. I keep these pants as a reminder of where I came from, so I'll never forget it. I still struggle on some days, and I still have some weight to lose. But I figured it was worth it to stop just this one time and look back and see how far I've come, and maybe give other people some hope. You can take your life back. You don't have to accept being overweight.